by the way, you are Jordan Rianne Carter. Here with Mr. Kindler, your attorney, and the state's attorneys are here, and your probation officer. In 21-37382, you were charged with the second-degree felony of illegal possession of methamphetamine, a controlled substance. You were, in 2021, sentenced to 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for that. In 21-37963, you were charged with the third-degree felony of illegal possession of methamphetamine, and in December of 21, you pleaded guilty to this and were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years. 21-37964, you were charged with the state jail felony of illegal possession of controlled substance, namely heroin. And in December of 21, you pleaded guilty and were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for that. And in 21-37965, you were charged with the state jail felony of illegal possession of fentanyl, among other things, and a drug that's 20 letters long. I'm not even gonna.
She should have on.
Phenethyl piperidine. Phenethyl piperidine. I'm not sure what that is. You were pled guilty to that and were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for that, correct? Okay. Let's see what we got on the violations.
She's pleaded true as indicated in the should be paperwork.
Where, oh, can you find a motion? Batteries, of course. Yeah. What else is new? Four years? Is that what we're doing?
It's 4 years on the 2 TDCs and 18 months on the state attorneys.
Is that right?
Yes,
Is that yours?
That's not mine, it's Daniel's, it's.
Daniel?
Yes,
Is that right?
Yes, sir. There's 2 third-degree felonies.
I think it's the second.
What's the motion for?
It was,
What's it alleging? Administrative?
I think it was new, tested positive several times for drugs and.
Is that right? I mean, any new crimes other than illegal possession kind of cases there?
More request.
What was you testing positive for?
Amphetamines and things like that.
Headed for a brick wall at about 100 miles an hour. Right? I'm talking to you. You're on probation for 3.5 years. Let's see, no, 2.5 years. This isn't working? The probation is not working for you? No?
The allegation, Your Honor, the first was there was a possession of controlled substance from May 27th, when she was booked into the jail there. On the motion to revoke, there was the failure to report as well as the others were basically testing positive for all the
Okay, this was just filed. She has time to prepare for this. Are you waiving that?
Yes, waiting 10 days.
Judge, these were just filed at 9:56 this morning, so they've not been signed.
Are y'all ready for this or
We're ready.
Would you be signed and we can scan them in?
21-37382, 21-37963, 21-37964, and 21-37965 are all called the state of Texas versus Jordan or Carter. You or Miss Carter? Present with Mr. Kimler, your attorney and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of these motions to revoke unadjudicated probation, which were filed this morning at 9:56 a.m. It is 11 o'clock a.m. now. And can we proceed in summary on these cases?
So waive, proceed by summary.
And furthermore, she has a time for preparation under the law. And are you waiving all additional time periods that Ms. Carter may have under the law to prepare? And do you wish to proceed now at this time?
Waiving our 10 days preparation time as well as any other applicable mandatory preparation time. Requesting will proceed today.
Is that good for you, Ms. Carter? Oh, in summary, and can we take these cases collectively?
Without objection.
In summary, these motions to revoke unadjudicated probation similarly allege that you were placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation on December 1st, 2021 for 10 years. In cause numbers 21-37382 and 37963. And cause numbers 21-37964 and 21-37965. You were also placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 5 years on each of those two cases on December 1st, 2021 for state jail felonies of illegal possession of controlled substances. Is all of that true and correct? And you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm all statements you make during this hearing are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Speak loudly.
And all of these statements you're making are true and correct today so far, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, lawyer. In each case, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the same in each case. And let's go number 3. That number 3 states you provided a urine sample on or about November 22nd, 2023, which showed the presence of methamphetamine in violation of condition 10 of your deferred adjudication order in each case. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And finally, 6, you failed to submit to a substance abuse assessment and follow the recommended treatment plan in each case.
Is that true? True?
Yes, sir.
You kind of look like you're not certain about it.
I don't know if she's certain of her answer. Is that a true allegation or untrue allegation? True. Fail to assess to, as the court indicated, submit to a drug evaluation. True?
Yes, sir.
Say
Is that-
true.
Yes, sir. True.
Okay. Are you pleading true in each case to allegations 3 and 6 voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and you understand that you had an obligation under the probation orders to abide by the terms of the orders, and allegations 3 and 6 allege you failed to do that? Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that a knowing and intentional failure to follow one or more terms of probation are enough to grant the motion to revoke probation? Your probations can be revoked and you could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison on the first two cases and up to 2 years in the state jail on the second two cases in numerical sequence. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to allegations 4 and 6 in each of these motions to revoke probation?
Yes, sir.
I find you were pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true to one or more violations of probation in each case.
Yes, sir.
Agreements have been reached in 37382 and 37963. Those are third degree felonies, I believe. And these agreements are, you would be pleading guilty of pleading true to these allegations. Your probation would be revoked. You would be found guilty in those two cases and sentenced to 4 years in prison to run concurrently with all other cases. Is that your understanding of the agreement? Plus, the state will not file illegal possession offenses for May 24th or 27th of
Yes, sir.
2024.
Yes.
Is that your understanding of the agreement
Yes, sir.
in each of those cases?
Yes, sir.
If I follow those agreements, you have no right of appeal of your cases. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Stand by with me. There's so much here. Are you fixing this mess in your life?
Trying to.
It's good to try, but it's better to do it. And 21-37965 motions to revoke probation have been filed in those cases, and those are state jail felonies. In those agreements, two agreements, you would be pleading true, like you've done in allegations 4 and 6 in those two cases. In the motions to revoke probation, your probation would be revoked. You would be found guilty and sentenced to 18 months in the state jail in those cases to run concurrently with other cases. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If I follow that, you have no right of appeal of your cases. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So how do you plead in each of these cases, again, to allegations 4 and 6 in these motions to revoke probation? True or untrue?
True.
Are you pleading true in each of these cases? These motions to revoke probation to two violations, 4 and 6 in each motion to revoke probation in each of those cases. Are you pleading true voluntarily? And because those allegations are indeed true,
Yes, sir.
I find you are pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true in each of these cases.
Yes, sir.
But you can't wait to get back there, huh? There's a way to stay out of there, and you need to fix that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, that's an environment that you don't want to live in the rest of your life. You hear that? That's just asinine, incredible, and maybe out of their mind actions, but it's not an environment you want to be a part of. In each of these cases, I want to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign those documents voluntarily? Did you understand them, discuss them with your attorney, or the contents true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence in each case.
Without objection.
Without objection admitted. This also states that if I follow these agreements, you are waiving all rights of appeal and this would be finalized. You understand?
Yes,
Anything else to add?
Defense rest.
I'm going to find that you have pleaded true in each of these motions to revoke probation in these 4 cases to allegations 4 and 6 in each case voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. That along with State's Exhibit 1 is enough to grant these motions by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. The motions to revoke probation in each case are granted. Your deferred or unadjudicated probations have now been revoked. In each of these cases, you pleaded guilty voluntarily. You were mentally competent to do so. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence from State's Exhibit 1 admitted at those initial plea hearings to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Because your probations have been revoked, now I hereby now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each of those 4 cases in 37382 and 37963. Your probations are revoked. You are hereby found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of those 3rd-degree felonies, and you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years. And in 37964 and 37965, your probations are revoked in each of those 2 state jail felonies. You are hereby found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in those cases and sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 18 months in each case. All of these sentences shall run concurrently. Do you understand what has happened today?
yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
We need the firearms admonishment. Firearms admonishment.
I'm sorry, there was
We need,
screaming and,
we need the firearms admonishment since she's now convicted felon.
yeah, go ahead. Monica.
Why? The punishment.
Well, what have you talked to her about? What have
Well,
you
I
told her?
haven't actually, but I mean, you can't use or possess a firearm.
You're a convicted felon now, and of course, possession of a firearm under the circumstances, unless it's something in the law that is allowing it, like in an emergency situation or something.
Ammunition also.
Yeah, you in possession of a firearm and or ammunition can subject you to being charged and convicted with additional felony offenses. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We now call clause number 96079, the state of Texas versus Howard Lyons. You are Mr. Lyons.
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. West, your attorney, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and the arraignment here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is an indictment that is going on 20 years old. In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about May 2005 in Jefferson County, May 4th of 2005 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the 1st-degree felony of aggravated sexual assault of a child younger than 17 years of age.
Wow.
And the complainant was actually younger than 14 years of age at the time. You also are alleged to have 2 prior convictions in 1990 and out of the 252nd District Court next door, burglary of a habitation and illegal possession of controlled substance. Are we passing on that?
You don't need those paragraphs for this plea, Judge.
Okay, so this will be a 1st-degree felony, which means you were facing a term of life imprisonment or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The agreement's been reached where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 40 years in prison. You will be given credit for 727 days credit, which includes over a year when you were in Mexico.
Judge, and we did find the official count for those days and we've agreed to the number, as opposed to having to reset this for a sentencing.
Okay. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Also, the state will dismiss the other pending case 24 CR 1335,
That's correct, Judge.
which was what? The,
It was a second offense date, that we recently indicted.
let me see that. Okay, that is also a similar offense and that will be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Judge, we do have an allocution.
Patience, grasshopper.
I'm fired up today, Judge. I don't know what it is. Maybe the weather.
Sir, how do you plead to this indictment charging you with this first degree felony of aggravated sexual assault of a child younger than 14 years of age, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty of what this alleges in this indictment?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
Showing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
Did you understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence.
No objection.
Without objection, it's submitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the right to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. You were totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record for all purposes. And is a pre-sentence report waived?
Yes,
on
Your Honor.
this?
Yes.
Stand by, please. All right, sir. Under subchapter B, under Article 62 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the legislature has enacted the statute that provides that a person who has a reportable conviction or adjudication or who is required to register as a condition of parole as a sex offender is required to follow the registration laws and where you are going to reside or intend to reside for more than 7 days, you must register and verify registration in such county. And failure to register properly under the statute can result in additional felony charges. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
And for this particular offense, the requirement is you will it's necessary for you to register for life.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand, Henry? That law, and have you discussed this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else to add?
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
If not, I'm going to find then, Mr. Lyons, that you were pleading guilty in this case to this first degree felony of aggravated sexual assault of a child younger than 14 years of age. You were pleading guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 that's been admitted here in this hearing that you've signed to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, along with your plea of guilty. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institution of division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 40 years. You will be given credit for time you have served in accordance with this charge. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
Anything else to add?
Judge, I'm submitting a dismissal in the other case, and we do have an allocution that we would ask to do at this time.
Stand by.
Did we get the registration form filled out? Okay.
That needs to be done before he leaves.
Yeah.
You have a dismissal?
Can you send that to us? It's on its way to you, Judge.
Anything else to add?
Not from us, Your Honor.
Do you have an allocation, Your Honor?
You have that, Roger, right?
I'm ready now.
Okay. Go ahead, then.
Got my phone and everything ready to go.
You understand over here, Your Honor?
I'm muting under this. Anything else? Ma'am, just 1 second, please. Just right here. Don't let evil control your life. When you were young, you didn't have a chance. You're wiser and you understand that evil exists, and there it is, right there in front of us. There's so many wonderful things there in life. Do you have a family now? Your own family? Okay, wonderful. Well, children, well, you, in their eyes, you see our Creator's greatest gifts, the hope and the love that goes with a family. Some people exist who are unnatural in their actions and in their thoughts, and that is evil. And you hope evil ends with people that they change for the better, but sometimes they don't. And evil acts should never, especially when you are a victim, should never be the control, even though it's always part of you. You have to put it in a place that you didn't have control. It wasn't your choice. You were stuck in a difficult, impossible situation. Children should never be placed in. You've survived. You have a life that you are in control of, and your family, and you just spend every moment making the best out of it, and happiness and love and affection, and doing your best to always keep away those thoughts, because if they control you, then evil wins, and you don't want that. You're better than that. You deserve better. You're the people whose life you touch, they have a great opportunity from what you've had to experience. Put that aside, and you appreciate more than anyone probably in this room good versus evil, because you've had to live with a dark side. Do your best to put that away, and try to never let it invade your thoughts, but always use your actions as the best that God and life can give, because you know what evil is and you are in control now, and you want to represent great, wonderful things. And I'm sure you are going to be just a very successful mother, uh, professional, but you're going to touch those lives for the better. This terrible experience, you can't understand why it happens to you. But you're not the only person. We see too often this type of behavior that comes in here, where children are harmed their whole life. But it's easy for me to say, don't let it control, because it will probably bleed into your thoughts from time to time. But you are, more than anyone in this room, can appreciate and understand and cherish wonderful things of life, and make the most out of this, and do your best to put evil behind you. Don't let it control you. Be the leader of good, decent, moral decisions. And I'm sure that your family is lucky to have you touching their lives, because you know how special good things are. And it's right there in your hand. Just grab it and hold on to it and pass it on to others. And let this be far behind you as best you can. Okay? Okay. Good for you. Good for you. And best wishes to your family. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
That is all. John, make sure he signs the documentation. Yeah, thank you very much.
Good, Lacey.